check, verify, assess, whatever it is you want to do before leaving the house. Make sure you double check, triple check, and however many times check. Just keep on checking. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Abby. If you're just watching me for the first time, I'd like to say thank you and welcome. I hope you join the family by clicking the subscribe button, and when you do, please turn on the notification bell as well. That way you get notified whenever there's a video on this channel, and there'll be new videos every week. If you're a family member already, a subscriber, thank you very much for always sticking by. I appreciate your support. Now, in this video today, I want to talk about how to prepare for your journey to Canada if you are relocating or moving to Canada. Now, in my case, I moved from Lagos, Nigeria down to Alberta in Canada, and it was quite a journey. So I decided to come and talk to you guys and share some tips with you. The first thing I'm going to advise you to do is leave your house on time. Leave on time to the airport. It cannot be overemphasized, and I'm sure that quite a number of you understand what I'm talking about, right? Lagos traffic, Nigeria's traffic is no child's play. You want to make sure that you have ample time from when you leave the house up until when your flight is. You have enough time to sort out anything that you need to sort out in the airport before going to actually board your flight. In my own experience, my flight was 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon, and I left the house as early as 9 a.m. Even at that, I actually considered that a bit late for Lagos traffic standard, but you get my gist, right? Now, tip number 2, check for your documents before you leave the house. Check that you have your passports, you have all your travel documents, you have your tickets, and everything that you might need in terms of documentation. Mistakes happen. People have been known to forget some of their important travel documents at home, and you do not want to be in that situation. Just to avoid any sort of occurrence, check, verify, assess, whatever it is you want to do before leaving the house. Make sure you double check, triple check, and however many times check. Just keep on checking right from the moment you're about to leave the house, that you have all your important documentations. Another thing I'm going to advise you to do is try as much as possible to have photocopies of your passport data page with you. It is quite expensive to photocopy in the airport. I had to photocopy in the airport and it was quite expensive, so make sure you have photocopies of your passport data page with you, just in case you need it for anything. You really never know. Another tip is weigh your luggages, your bag, your bags before leaving for the airport. I will advise that you get a hand scale of some sort and try as much as possible to weigh your bags before leaving the house. Now, you may not necessarily get the accurate weight of your bag or luggage box, whatever, but you will have a very close idea as to what it weighs. Now, it's usually plus or minus a few numbers in between, right? So when you weigh your bags before leaving for the airport, it gives you an idea of what to expect when you actually weigh your bags in the airport. In my case, I did some weighings before I left the house, and thankfully there was just a slight disparity between the numbers that my bags weighed at home and the numbers that it actually weighed at the airport. So I'll strongly advise that you get a hand scale and you weigh your bags before leaving for the airport. It can be quite upsetting getting to the airport and finding out that a bag that you presume to be 23 kg is actually 32 kg. You don't want to be in that situation, guys, so get yourself a hand scale and weigh your bags before you leave for the airport. Another tip is have somebody that isn't traveling go to the airport with you. And I say this in reference to my previous tip about weighing your bags. In a situation where you find out that a particular bag is excessively overweight and you do not have space in any other bag to transfer some stuff to, whoever it is that goes to the airport with you will be very handy in taking those things off you and returning them back home. the last thing you want to do is to be in the airport by yourself, having to remove some things from your bag, and you'll be forced to actually trash them. Another tip I would recommend is taking food and snacks with you to the airport. Now, you may not necessarily have time to go to the airport food court to grab a meal or grab some snacks before you go catch your flight if you get to the airport late. Typically, some airlines are going to be serving you food or refreshments when you're airborne, right? But the reality is, the quantity of these might actually not be sufficient for you or whoever else you might be traveling with. I'll advise that you go with some backup. The journey to Canada, as you know, is a very long journey. I made sure that I had some food and I had some snacks with me in my backpack, and that really helped sustain my family and I throughout our journey. Now, if you've watched this video up to this point, please, I'd like you to click the like button and thumbs up this video. It just lets me know that you are enjoying this content. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. It will mean a lot to me. Thank you very much. Another tip for you is have some naira with you when you are going to the airport to fly from wherever it is in Nigeria to Canada. You know how it is with certain officials in the airport in Nigeria, right? It just saves you any form of harassment, and it saves you time, most importantly. You know, have some naira with you to do whatever it is that you need to do at the airport. You understand what I mean, right? Then another important tip is have a power bank with you. The last thing you want is your phone battery actually going off and you have no means to communicate whilst you're in transit or whilst you get to your destination. Have a power bank with you so that you can get your phone charged whenever you're in transit or whenever you land Canada. It's important. It cannot be overemphasized. Have a power bank with you. It helps. It will save the day. Another tip, and very important actually, is if you are going to need to board a connecting flight to your actual destination city in Canada from wherever you land in. For instance, you land in Vancouver and you're going all the way to Alberta. Make sure that you have sufficient time between when you land Vancouver and when your next flight to Alberta is, and that's because immigration can actually take quite a while. If you happen to land the airport at your point of entry on a day that there are so many people coming into the country via that airport, immigration can take such a long time, and the last thing you want is having to panic and having to run helter-skelter trying to figure out if you're going to catch your connecting flight to wherever it is your final destination is. In my situation, the day that we arrived Canada, and I say we because I traveled with my family, there was actually a couple who were on board with us. Now, for some reason that day, immigration was really slow. There were a number of people waiting to be cleared by immigration. Thankfully, we had about 6 hours between when we landed till when our connecting flight was, so my family and I had no worries whatsoever. However, this other couple who flew the same airline as we did from Nigeria, they only had 2 hours between when we landed our point of entry, which was Toronto, and getting their connecting flight. Eventually, they actually missed their flight, and it was really so heartbreaking and so sad to see that happen. You know, you don't want that happen to you, because they had to wait back at the airport for several hours, had to rebook a connecting flight. It was just a lot, and they had kids. So one thing you want to do for yourself is make sure that you have ample time between when you land at your point of entry to when you need to take your connecting flight to wherever else is your final destination when you get to Canada. Yeah. Now, for my mummies out there, I'm going to advise that for the kids, try as much as possible to have at least paracetamol for the kids. If you can, travel with a sweater, a cardigan, or jumper, whatever you want to call it. Try as much as possible to travel with that, or maybe even a blanket. It can get quite cold in the airplane, and you want to make sure that your kids are warm and protected. Another thing that I'd like you to take on board, if your mom is, for the kids, try as much as possible to travel with anything you consider entertaining for your kids. If they're into books, make sure you have some books. If they're into puzzles, make sure you have some puzzles. If you have a tablet or an iPad or whatever it is that has lots of games or movies or whatever for them, try as much as possible to make sure that you have that device with you. You do not want to experience your child throwing tantrums when you are airborne. It can be quite embarrassing, so please try as much as possible to make sure that you have everything at hand to make sure that your child is comfortable and your child enjoys the flight. And this brings me back to the point that I raised about food. Now, kids obviously get hungry very frequently, so do make sure that you have lots of snacks and refreshments for your kids when they get hungry. Yeah, so that's it, guys. These are the tips that I know will be very helpful to you when you are planning your journey from anywhere in the world to Canada. In my case, Lagos, Nigeria to Canada. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, again, please do not forget to thumbs up and like this video. Leave me your comments in the comment section down below and let's get the conversation going. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.